This is big breaking emergency news. People's homes have been destroyed and they have been devastated. And we are getting reports that the federal government is actively blocking aid that is being brought in. That's what boots on the ground are reporting. They're blocking homes that people are building to bring in, and they're preventing them from rebuilding their homes as well too. So let's get into the details here really quick, guys. Please just hit that like and hit that subscribe. I'm posting multiple videos a day, keeping you guys updated on this big urgent news, and it just helps to get these warnings out. I appreciate that. So this is what's going on right now in Western North Carolina. I know we've been talking about this recently, but winter is coming to the area, and FEMA is now blocking trailers that are being sent to this area. They're blocking the roads when deliveries are being made. They're shutting down roads because they're man-made roads that people made with their equipment in the area. They're not official roads. They're just roads that people had to build. And they're also not letting people put trailers on their property because they're saying it's now in a flood zone. They're designating hundreds of properties, maybe thousands, that weren't in a flood zone before and now in a flood zone, and shutting down deliveries of trailers to them. So I want you to listen to this report here, and then we will talk more about it really quick.
As we approach Thanksgiving, it's important to remember lives were lost and families shattered by Hurricane Helene just 2 months ago. Hundreds of volunteers rushed to help, including Matt McSwain, who organized 100 personal helicopters and 200 pilots to deliver emergency aid to some of the hardest hit areas of North Carolina. And now, because of a FEMA regulation, some families urgently in need of temporary housing are being denied delivery of trailers to their properties. That means they'll be forced to continue living out of hotels and even tents. As the founder and director of Operation Hilo, Matt McSwain is working to get those families the assistance they so desperately need. He joins us now. So what is this catch-22, Matt? There are trailers available, right, that could be put on people's property that would give them a warm place to stay while they rebuild?
Well, again, thank you, Mr. Scott, for having me on tonight. Love to kind of explain where we're at in the State of the Union of the areas in the mountainous terrains. As you can imagine, some of the areas that we're trying to access to put these trailers, even with us, we're supplying 17, 18-foot, 19-foot trailers. We're even having a hard time getting up there. The FEMA trailers are quite large, and they're just not made for this mission. Just accessibility to these places takes four-wheel drive trucks and special vehicles. Some places we can't even get to where we're going. We have to put our temporary trailers in somebody else's property just because we can't get there. So there's a huge terrain issue. That's number one. And then there's various other issues when it comes to, sewer, power, all these things getting hooked up. There is no infrastructure anymore.
But one of the issues, as I understand it, is that FEMA won't let you put a trailer on a piece of ground that is considered flood prone. Well, all these people are out of their houses because they got flooded, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. That's correct. So, again, we started running into this a couple of weeks ago, and, we started making phone calls and calling everybody, knocking on representatives' doors and trying to get some answers of why these places can't have tiny homes or FEMA trailers, we even got a text back from our Speaker of the House that said, they can apply for grants. These people are so far out of touch with what's going on. Senator Ted Budd, we did get in touch with him. And within 24 hours, he got something on the president's desk addressing this very topic. So here's what we got. The floodplain has, this is a 1,000-year flood. So the topographical map shows, Ezra maps show the floodplain lines. Well, there is rules in place. I spoke with the state fire marshal an hour ago to get some clarity. There's rules in place that say that you can't put these trailers on floodplain property. Well, everything up there is now considered floodplain. And what a lot of people don't understand is the rivers that were 100-foot wide, now they're 600-foot wide in some places. So people not only lost their homes, but they lost the land that their homes were on. It's down to bedrock. So it expands out the area to which you can't put these trailers. So that's why, the route that we have chosen to go, these small temporary trailers, they can be moved around. It's not the best and it's not permanent, but yeah, I mean, if somebody could, somebody in the government could say, hey, we're going to lift these temporary restrictions right now and let this be, man, it could get a lot of people out of the cold right now instantly.
Yeah, because a lot of those people are living in tents, right?
It is heartbreaking. We delivered a tent to a lady, me and my co-founder, Eric Robinson, delivered a tent 2 weeks ago. Delivered a camper to a lady 2 weeks ago. Her and her daughters were living in a tent, and she literally was fending off a bear attack the night before because they had food in their tent. This is no joke, man. This is somebody needs to. People in the government are so out of touch with what's going on up there. If they would just put their mud boots on and go up there and walk around, if it was their mother and daughter, they would have a change of heart.
One of the stories that I've heard is that volunteers such as yourself were shuttling supplies up to the hardest hit areas.
All right, so you heard that there, that FEMA they're blocking roads, first of all, because they are roads that are hard to access, but there's people that are willing to bring supplies, bring trailers, bring RVs, and bring mobile homes to these areas, right? There are people that are willing to do it. They have dually trucks, they're ready to go. And they're blocking it. They're putting gates up on these roads as well, too. I saw multiple reports and pictures of gates being put up on these roads that residents are building to get access back to their home. They're trying to stop them from going back to their home, and they're also designating massive areas as flood areas now because the topography of the area has totally changed. So they're saying this is now a flood zone, which might be true, but at the same time, this is an emergency. People need this housing. Where else are they going to go right now? And it also says here that a standoff in Congress has indefinitely delayed efforts to replenish the U.S. Small Business Administration's Disaster Loan Fund, which offers emergency loans to help homeowners and businesses rebuild damaged properties. All right, this is one of the main funding things that businesses can get to help them get through this situation. And Congress is not replenishing this fund. So just please hit it up for me down there to help get these warnings out. I appreciate that. Let me know what you guys think down below of this situation in Western North Carolina. It's sad. We have all this money for everything. There's 1,000 different programs that are getting money just thrown at it recklessly. But then when it comes to our own citizens in a disaster like this, it's so limited all of a sudden. It's so scarce, and there's not much they can do, and there's limited resources, and it's hard to help them. All these things, it doesn't make sense. Where's their housing? Where's their free housing? Where's their free benefits? Things like this. Where's their hotel room that they should get access to through these programs, right? And it says that despite warnings from the Biden administration that the federal funds for the loans would be fully exhausted by October, Congress departed Washington before Election Day without passing legislation to replenish the fund, all right? So they're on recess. They're just hanging out, taking the holidays off for months, and they're not going to do anything for months now, right? And it says here that no legislation has been drafted, nor has it been set to vote on any measure to restore the money. And it says the loans are also used to help upgrade homes and businesses to prevent against future storm damage as well. And the money can be used to help offset the loss of sales during business closures, right? A lot of these businesses in Asheville and the surrounding areas, they haven't gotten any business. Nobody's going there. Nobody's visiting there because people know the situation there is hard right now. But they also need these tourist dollars. They need this money, people going there spending money. But they're saying that businesses are dead, restaurants, everything. Nobody's going there, hotels, nobody's booking them. And it's been a big strain on the businesses. They're having major losses, right? Even if they didn't get their buildings destroyed from flooding, they're okay from that. Now they have to deal with the repercussions of the economic repercussions of people not visiting North Carolina right now, Western North Carolina, and driving there, right? And it makes sense. You don't really know what the situation is there. You don't know what roads are closed, what is going to be accessible or what's not. You don't want to put more strain on the resources, the limited resources that are there, the food, the groceries, things like that. You want to save it for the people living there, but they also need this money to get their economy jump started. So this is going to be a years long thing. This is like Katrina, essentially, that happened in North Carolina. So let me know what you guys think down below. I hope you guys are staying safe, staying prepared. I hope you have big blessings for your life and your family. And I hope you have a big old blessed day.